So, if you live in the UK and your house starts getting thousands of ladders, congratulations, you've just been accepted to the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. If you live in the US and your house starts getting thousands of letters, congratulations, you've been pre-approved for a Capital One rewards card. Growing up, my dad was always against taking out loans. He was kind of like Uncle Vernon for me. He was like, there's no such thing as credit. You have all of these things, it's like magic. Just swish and flick. I hate that joke. It's nice that Harry's parents left him an inheritance after they died, you know? How sad would it be if Hagrid showed up like, okay, Harry, time to get your things, and he's like, but I have no money, and Hagrid's like, oh. Well, back to the Dursleys you go. Okay. I don't know what the economy is like in Wizard Britain, but I know if Harry's parents went to school in the US, they'd still be paying off their student loans by the time Voldemort showed up. Sorry, Harry, your parents studied history of magic and divination, so I guess knowing the past and seeing the future doesn't really prep you for the present. Sorry, guys. By the way, what's with all the skepticism about divination, you know? I'm looking at you, Hermione. Like, is it so hard to believe that someone can predict the future when you can travel through time? Like, what's the frame of realism here? That's what I want to know. And while we're on that subject, why does Luna Lovegood get so much crap, you know? She believes in crazy things like sprites that live in mistletoe, not realistic things like flying undead invisible horses that you can only see if you've witnessed death and accepted it in your life. Like, what? Also, where do wizards live? Yeah, where do they live? Like throughout the whole series, the only houses we see are the Weasleys, who live in a tower in the middle of a giant field, and the Lovegoods, who live in a tower in the middle of a giant field. Like, have they heard of a duplex? I'm really passionate about duplexes, guys. And the Weasleys go to the World Cup in book 4, right? And they have this little tent that looks small from the outside, and you walk in and it's like a huge cabin. And then when they're all done, they go back to their house, and it's just a regular house. They just go inside and it's a regular house. Like, doesn't that feel like a missed opportunity to anyone? And speaking of missed opportunities, look at these flawless segues, you guys. Speaking of missed opportunities, don't you feel like Muggleborn should have adopted the word mudblood and only they can use it? Like, you know, like they'll call it to each other in jest or whatever, or like in their music, but if Harry comes up and he's like, what up, my mudbloods? They're like, whoa, not cool, dude. We'd prefer if you use the term Muggleborn, or just say the M word. Or Muggle American. Sorry, 2 on the nose. So, in book 2, Hermione gets petrified. Spoiler alert. And when they find her, she's got this scrap of paper in her hand, and it says, and she scribbled the word pipes in the corner, and it's got all these traits about the basilisk, right? It's like spiders sleep before it, and the basilisk fears the sound of the rooster crowing because that will kill it. And Harry sees this piece of paper and goes, oh my gosh, the pipes! What? I feel like we overlooked something there, right? Like, it just dies to the sound of a rooster? Like, no, he didn't just go straight to Hagrid and be like, yo, I need 1 rooster so I can kill this huge beast. Because here's the thing, I really wanted to see him open the Chamber of Secrets and just hold a rooster over his head, like Legend of Zelda style, and just gently float down the hole. And I'd love it if he misunderstood why she wrote pipes. He was like, oh, it falls asleep to the sound of music, I gotta play my pipes. Just like Fluffy in the last year. And so you get Harry just floating down on a chicken, playing his ocarina. And then the Sorting Hat shows up, like, it's dangerous to go alone, Harry. Here's the Master Sword. It fits, okay? Also in book 2, Lucius Malfoy shows up in Diagon Alley and takes a book out of Ginny's cauldron and looks at it and puts it back in, and without anybody noticing, puts 2 books back in, right? It's amazing, sleight of hand. Which makes me think that Lucius Malfoy is not so much a wizard as he is a magician. Which would explain why everyone hates him. Some of you went, oh, I get it. I don't actually have anything against magicians. I thought that was just a silly joke, but this actually happened. One of my friends on Facebook posted this the other day. She said, ugh, it's happened again, barf emoji. How do these people keep finding me? And she posted a picture. It was a screenshot of a conversation, and it was just a couple messages from a guy, and I automatically assumed like, oh, some jerk just harassing her. And I read the message, and it's some random dude from Pakistan, and all he said was, hey, want a video chat? I do magic. How do these people keep finding you? That's a great question. What is it about you, Anna, that draws magicians to you? Are you walking around in like a frilly black corset and a top hat? Like, what is going on here? And like, maybe she just has a weird thing with magicians, okay? Fine. No! All of her friends' comments? Ugh, so glad I don't have to deal with that anymore. Creeps will be creeps. Gross. Barf emoji. Like, what is happening out there, ladies? Is that what perverts have upped their game to? Like, hey girl, you want to see a ribbon that's coming out of nowhere? Like, what? I wouldn't know. I mean, I'm not in that scene, but I just, is that, maybe that's what creeps have evolved to. Like, if you tell them to disappear enough, they'll be like, I guess I should do this professionally. And like, I know, like, the Malfoys are hated for other things, right? Like Draco, you know, he led all the Death Eaters into Hogwarts in book 6. You guys remember that? How did he do that? How did he get everyone in? Do you guys remember? A vanishing cabinet, that's right. Like a magician, it runs in the family! Guys, that's my time. You guys having a good night still?